Hello guys, GobbleLego here, and in today's video I have another LEGO Star Wars review, and this is of set number 75337, the ADT Walker from Revenge of the Sith. So this set retails for $119.99 in the UK, and comes with 8 minifigures as well as 1,082 pieces. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the set. So in this set you actually do get one side build, and that is obviously for the Separatists, and in this instance it is a Spider Droid. This is something we've seen multiple times from the past in LEGO Star Wars, but it's nice to get another one here. But I'm not going to spend too long on him. He's got a really simple build. He's got 4 legs, which can be posed from, I guess, the main joint, and then at the feet in the, I guess, what would be the ankle. So it's a really posable model that has one of these 2x2 clear pieces in the centre to sort of help it balance if you're not supporting all the weight on one leg or whatever. But yeah, he has a cannon on the front, which can be moved up and down on this hinge. So you get some posability there, and as well as at the base, which also moves the eyes, which you just hear, which is some red studs on top of a telephone piece. And then they've done the shape of the Spider Droid really well with this sort of orb piece, which is quite old now, but yeah, it's the same piece used for the cannons on the ATT as well. So yeah, not too much to say about the Spider Droid, so let's move on to the main set. So here is the ATT. And just off the bat, this is definitely an extremely stunning build, and it's something I've not had in my collection before. So this is a set I'm really highly about, or think highly about. But yeah, just to talk about it first, the way I sort of obviously brought it into the camera angle is that they actually have a play handle, which is in the middle here. And when you pick it up, it basically, there's 2 pieces at the bottom, which are too large to basically fit through the hole, which just stops it going all the way. And then you just pick it up like so. So that's really cool, and it makes it easier just to transport around and play with. But as well, that also brings me to how the legs are built. So the main 4 legs at the front and back actually aren't posable, so you can see they're here, they're locked in place. But when you lift them up, it sort of brings that tension out. So they actually are a little bit loose here, but basically when you drop it down, it puts tension into the build to get it in that sort of walking angle that it typically is in the movies and the shows. But yeah, it just completely locks those out, and there's tension going all through this, so it's really, really sturdy. But then the centre legs are a little bit different. They're a bit bigger, but they move a bit more freely, so they don't really make contact with the ground, to be honest, or all the weight is basically put through the 4 legs here, and these are just sort of dangling about, so they're more decorative rather than like having a purpose. But as you can see, they're a bit more posable, so say if you want to get it into a bit of a walkie pose while it's static, you can move it forwards and backwards, or just in the centre here. So yeah, the middle legs have the most posability, and they are the biggest. But just taking a look at the leg build, you can see there's some greebling on here with these sort of big gear pieces here. And I really like how they've done the feet as well. It's really accurate to the movies with the sort of 4 toes, I guess you could call them, on each of the legs. But yeah, it's basically a mirror image of each other on the side, so I won't look at both sides. But as you can see here on the paneling, we got some sticker detailing, just some sort of like battle marks and scratches and stuff to make it look worn, torn, and just give it that little extra bit of detail that you can't really achieve with the bricks. But the paneling itself is really simple, just with some tiles in there, and it's really studded off, so I guess if you wanted to put more attachments on or whatever, you can do so, because it's not tiled off completely on the sides. And they've really captured the angle nicely, that it's sort of like a sort of rhinoceros almost, where instead of being completely sort of flat and front facing, it comes in at an angle of about 30 degrees, where it just sort of splits apart and it kind of tapers it towards the ends. So that's really cool. And again, we got a Republic insignia, which is also a sticker. And coming to look at the front of the build, which is probably my favourite, like most interesting, is with, bear in mind, I just got to move the camera a little bit, is the sort of cockpit and cannons area. So this is where I guess most of the colour comes from, because it's obviously it's dark maroonish red when the entire build is just grey. So it's a nice bit of pop of colour there. But I really like how this looks. It looks so awesome, and the amount of like playability you got here just in this front part is really good. So you've got 4 cannons, which are on these sort of orb pieces, which can just be rotated around and stuff. Same thing down here to your heart's desire. Sometimes they do pop off a little bit, quite easy though, if you sort of hold them too hard or whatever, but that's because they are quite tense in there. There's quite a lot of friction, so sometimes they do pop off, but come to the main cannon later. But taking a look at the cockpit, how you get a minifigure in here is you basically just pull the whole front portion through, and it's just connected through a Technic axle, which is inside the build there, as you can see just at the bottom here, that goes into that Technic hull, and these guide rails just basically slide it on. And yeah, just taking a look at this, they've done a really good job with this, using some snot techniques in a lot of tiles. And I really love the window as well, so you can clearly see the minifigure when they're in there. So just to give you an example, I'm going to take one of the two knock his helmet off. Take one of the two 12th troopers you get in this set, so you do get 3 in here. And he just plops on the chair like so, and you just shove him in there. So now you have someone piloting the ADTE. So you can obviously only have one pilot in there, and obviously I think in Universe there is usually 2, but I've seen some modifications for it. But yeah, you put one minifigure in there and it's good to go. And they've got this nice little railing down here just from some extra detail. But yeah, that's how you access the front cockpit. And just taking a look at the top, I'm going to take the phone off my makeshift tripod because it actually has broken. So at the top here, we actually have the main sort of cannon here, which can rotate 360 degrees, which is really cool. And they've got some stud shooters on the side, so there is actually a bit of a play function here, other than just moving it around and posing it. But I really like how simple it is, but they've got a lot of detail in this such tiny build. So up here, there is no studs, so the minifigure that goes in is obviously your clone gunner, and he just sits in like so, without any studs, so he is in there just sort of frictionless. Then, I guess if he was playing with this, you can imagine he gets shot and he can get knocked out and stuff, which is really cool. I like that. And obviously it just puts less stress on the minifigure. It's way easier to take them in and out then. But take a look at the end of the cannon. It actually is on a ratchet joint here, so it can actually move independently from the swivel. So you have that bit more posability with it, so you can obviously anchor it up, lower it down, turn it, shoot at the floor. But that's a really simple build as well. It's just sort of a couple of Technic beams with these sort of, I don't know what, like sleeve pieces going over the top of them, just to thicken it out so it isn't just completely one giant axle. And then you've just got sort of like a muzzle piece at the end, and it's refusing to focus. But yeah, it's just sort of a little muzzle piece at the end. And actually, before we move on, just taking a look at some of the top panels, we got some more sticker detailings here, and you can see how the handle works. As you pull it up, it actually gets caught all the way at the bottom, so it can't lift up anymore. But yeah, that's the top detailing. And then taking a look at the back before we move on to the interior, you just got a couple more cannons here. If I just move the camera, just 2 more cannons on the back, and they work the exact same way as the ones on the front, where you can, and again, they pop off quite easily because there's a lot of friction. But yeah, just turn around like so, and they're really simple builds as well. So yeah, you get a lot of firepower with this set, so that's really, really cool about this. So as soon as we're here, we can look at how the back part of the model opens up. So at the top, these 2 panels are connected just by 2 clips, which are just held together by friction, and you basically lift the top panel up, and that would lift up to a certain extent, and then you draw this down, and you can fold it back in. And as you can see, it gives you a bit of a sneak peek into the interior, and if you want to open that up even more, you just basically flip these panels out, because they are on some ratchets there, and just turn them outwards. And then you've got a full-fledged interior in here, which is really good, especially for LEGO Star Wars. So you've got 5 seats even, some weapons holsters or room to put weapons for some of the soldiers, and as well as another gun holster. So they are just jumper plates as the seats, and basically what you do is take your minifigures and line them up like so. So you actually get a lot of troopers in the set to be able to just fill it up by default, but I do have some of my own from my collection previously, which I'm just going to sort of use to pad it out a little bit. And what's really cool about this seat, there is a little control panel, which you can imagine is controlling the interior cannons there. If we just focus it again, sorry about this, yeah, my tripod broke, which is really tragic, but that's okay. Then yeah, the only problem with these seats is the guns kind of get in the way, so if you want to get them in there, you kind of have to pose them a bit better. And then the one where this holster is, you basically have to completely take this out if you want to put another minifigure in that seat, but you get the idea. So yeah, that's really cool. You get a lot of space in here, so you can basically put all your minifigures from this set plus extra into the build. And that just closes up really simply, so we bring it up, bring these panels in, and then clip it back into place. And there you go, that's the back closed up. And then we've got one more bit of interior, which is just behind the main cockpit. I am going to have to move the camera for this one. But same thing, you lift up this panel and that brings up the cannon. As you can see, it's quite difficult to get in there, but you can also flip out the panels on each side. But what's good about this side is you can actually remove the seat that comes in here. And this is just 2 additional seats down here, so you can imagine, obviously, I don't know, Commander Cody, and another one of my own Phase 2 rather, clone troopers. And as well, you got some more sort of just detailing. You got some thermal detonators and another weapons crate. I can't remember what's actually in them. But yeah, if it would like to go in, it just sort of plops in there. It doesn't attach to any studs, so it can be easily taken in and out, and obviously replaced or whatever if you want to put another plate in there. And then that just closes up like so, and it just fits all seamlessly. So yeah, that's one thing I really love about this set, is the fact you get enough clone troopers to be able to fill the set to begin with, but there is still space to be able to add to it with your own collection. And obviously, again, there's loads of modifications you could probably do to fit more minifigures into the interior. But yeah, this is probably one of my favourite builds, and especially from 2022, I would say it's probably the best set from that year. But I'm really glad to have this one in my collection now, and it just looks stunning. So without further ado, let's move on to the minifigures. So first, and probably rightly so, we have the only named character in the set, and this is obviously Phase 2 Commander Cody. So this is the first instance in LEGO Star Wars, if you discount the one that they said was Commander Cody in the TCS game. But yeah, this is our first ever Phase 2 Commander Cody. And it's probably one of my most favourite minifigures that I have now, especially in the LEGO Star Wars theme. Because this just looks so cool, and a character that hasn't been made for so long, and it's been released in a widely available set, is really nice to see. But yeah, he does come with one of the regular short blasters, so I won't spend too long on that. And as you can see, just the detailing is crazy on this minifigure, especially for a £120 set. So he's just got some of his orange detailing on his breastplate there, and as you come down a little bit, it turns to that grey colour, just to separate the chest from the belly. A bit more orange there on the belt on just that one side, as well as some knee pads as well. And then he's just got plain orange arms, no arm printing, and turning around to the back, he's got a really awesome back print, which is just of his sort of like little jetpack that he has in the Clone Wars and in the Revenge of the Sith. So that's really cool to see, as well as more of that belt detailing continuing over. As well, he's a bit scratched up and dinged up. He's got some batter damage, which is really cool. But probably my favourite part is the helmet, just because I've sort of obviously seen this character in the Clone Wars from when I was really young. And as well, Revenge of the Sith. This is such a nice character to finally have. So just flipping up, he just sort of has a really generic sort of look. He looks kind of like the Clone Gunner a little bit. He's got similar printing on the top here, just with some orange like sort of spikes on his mouthpiece there. But what really brings it together is obviously the visor piece. So this is the same piece that's obviously been used since 2008, and it just clips into the helmet holes at the top, just there, so it fits above the visor, so it's not really obtrusive. And obviously there is a lot of controversy with the helmet holes in the Star Wars community, but I honestly really don't mind. But yeah, this is such an awesome minifigure to finally have in the LEGO Star Wars theme, and I hope he comes in more sets in the future. The second and other only unique figure in the set is a Clone Gunner, and he is at the moment exclusive to this set, same with Commander Cody. But this is really similar to his 2017 design, except the helmet's a bit different because obviously it's a new mould. But I like here how he's just basically a completely Phase 2 shiny, but he has a bit of extra armour on his breastplate there, which is just some sort of black detailing, which does continue onto the back. You can see like the little straps holding it together there. Then turning him around, you have obviously the similar helmet print to Commander Cody like I previously mentioned, as well as the new clone face print. And that's one thing I forgot about Commander Cody, so I'll show you in a second. But yeah, this is the new sort of clone face print. They don't use the angry clone anymore. So that's all I've really got to say about him. But yeah, let me bring in Commander Cody again, because I didn't show you his face print and I completely forgot. But yeah, he does have a unique face print, which is really awesome to see. So he doesn't just reuse the generic, or the new generic clone face. He actually has his own way. He has some sort of scars across his face. He's sort of grimacing. He's got some sort of cheek lines here. And on the back, he doesn't have an alternate face, because obviously he's got a helmet on all the time. But yeah, it would have been cool to get his hairpiece, but whatever. You get it from your own collection, I suppose. But yeah, That's Commander Cody's face print, and that is the Clone Gunner. So the final of the clone minifigures, and you actually do get 3 in this set, which is awesome to see, is just the regular Phase 2 2 12 Troopers. So as you can see here, he's holding a long blaster, and 2 of them come with this type of blaster, the other one comes with a regular one. But it's just a long blaster with the Harry Potter candle piece in black on the end of it there. So taking a closer look at him, he's got the sort of signature 212 markings here on his helmet and his body. He's got plain white arms. And turning around to the back, that orange detailing continues over, just as you can see, just above the belt there. But for the most part, they're quite plain, to be honest. But I'd never had the ones from 2014, so I'm really happy to see these again released. And again, like Commander Cody uses the same helmet holes, helmet model. So if you want to, you do get spare attachments, so you can add some to the minifigures if you'd like to. Then he does have the generic clone face, just like the Clone Gunner, and the rest of the clones have this as well. So it's really awesome to actually get a good grouping of 2 12 Troopers in the whole set, rather than, say, in like previous years, you'd get a clone set and it would only be like 1. You'd get 1 in each set. And then it just makes it like impossible to get a good collection unless you want to shell out loads of money buying individual minifigures. So it's really awesome to see they give you a lot of extras. But the only thing I don't really like about the new clone trooper models is I'm still quite used to the old 2014 sort of movie designs where the visor is just a bit longer. This one just looks a bit short, but other than that, they're perfect minifigures for me, and I like to have more clones in my collection. So yeah, that's the 2 12 Troopers. Then finally, the last 3 you get is just 3 regular B1 battle droids, sorry. So yeah, nothing new here other than their blasters are in the gunmetal grey colour. But yeah, these are the same we've been getting since 1999, so you got the straight arm, the curved arm, the joint legs, and the head, and obviously you can fold it up. But what's really nice about getting 3 in here, you actually get something to sort of combat against the clone troopers as well as the spider droid. But yeah, it'd be nice to hopefully see some sort of mainline separatist set in the future that can go up against the ATTE. So yeah, that's it guys, so that's the ATTE. So overall, this is probably one of my most favourite Star Wars sets that I've got in recent memory, because there hasn't really been much Star Wars sets that's really caught my eye, other than the TIE Bomber. But this is definitely one of the ones where if you've been out of the theme for a long time, this is definitely going to bring you back into it, because I just love the size of the build, the amount of minifigures you get to sort of put towards the set, as well as the sort of build experience. It's a really, really cool, unique sort of vehicle. And it's not just sort of like your typical starship, it's a really sort of strange looking walker that's like iconic from the Clone Wars and the Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, it's definitely a set I'd recommend to Star Wars fans, especially at the moment. I was able to get this for quite a lot of money off from Very, if you know that in the UK. I was able to get this for about £80, I think, and I've seen it a lot discounted in many other retailers, especially like Smith's Toys. So I'd definitely avoid getting it from Lego.com and probably look elsewhere if you live in the UK. I'm not sure of the extent of the situation in America, but I'm sure you could find some good deals on this set, which is what I did to get this set. So yeah, if you want to watch some more LEGO content on my channel, I will leave some videos pinned on the screen now. And without further ado, that's going to be all from me. So goodbye.